And I want coaches to really listen to me carefully now. That I'm not fighting with them, but I just want to show them something. This was between the father and son. And I just made a good example that as a father, when the son comes to you and say, Daddy, I saw a house, it's about 900,000 and I'm short with 100,000. And I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed with how they scored a goal with a set piece and how the defense organization of Kaizer Chiefs, and again, the goalkeeper, he was in the no man's land. But nevertheless, I think the coach made some blunders in terms of the players that he put in the game.
You need facts, figures, scores, and scoops, and the truth.
All about too. Welcome to Source Football Wisdom. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and post. Oi, oi! I'll take you back in I think last week to say this was between the father and son. And I just made a good example that as a father, when the son comes to you and say, Daddy, I saw a house, it's about 900,000 and I'm short with 100,000. As a father, you'll come in and give your son 100,000 and then he's going to buy the house. So between Chiefs and Pirates, it was that case. Remember that they've played the league game, Pirates won 2-1. And then now goes to the final. And I said it, that is between father and son. So they had to sit down and say, look, you'll take the points, I'll take the trophy. And that's what happened. The rest, we can debate, we can cry, we can jump, we can celebrate. It was done and dusted because there was no way that now Pirates will win the second time because, look, it was a very, very important game for Kaizer Chiefs, especially looking back in terms of it's been years. You're going to, on the 20th of this month, you're going to be 10 years without a trophy. So those boys, they had to die for the team. They had to go there and really die. And that's what they did. And yes, I know there were some points where we can argue, debate about those decisions by the referee. But when we are really looking at the game itself, I think Chiefs, they wanted more than Pirates. Pirates, there were some key players that they didn't come to the party. For me personally, they didn't come to the party. And for Chiefs, they just keep on fighting. They just keep on fighting and fighting. And the minute when M2 came in, then everything started to change. M2 and T-Pros. To the point that everyone, they want to hear from me. I will tell you now. Yes, there was supposed to be a red card, but not from the defender one for Duba when he kicked Maketleni. Initially, it was supposed to be a red card. Beside the other action of him fighting, pulling each other, whatever the case may be, for me, I was not really interested in that. I was interested in that action of him kicking Maketleni. He was supposed to get a red card. And then going to the one of pulling. Look, in football, they say if there's an opponent, even if it's not direct in front of you, but on the side, and you are not directed to the poles, they pull you, it will be a yellow card, not a red card. But if there was no one covering, meaning Nkota was directed to the goal post, there alone, then they pull him, that's a straight red card. So I think we just need to teach each other in terms of how the law applies in the game, because they look at those things to say the action was this way, he was from the side, there was the cover, I think the cover was Gwenyika, not per se, I would say 100% covering, but giving seconds when Nkota was making that run, it means he was going to cover Nkota and maybe create a situation of 2v1. But that's why he didn't get a red card, he got a yellow card. And for him to take that decision, that was brave of him. And that's why I'm saying Chiefs, they wanted to win more than Orlando Pirates because of decision making, the fighting spirit, how these boys they fought in the game. They keep on fighting. They knew that look, we don't have that luxury like Orlando Pirates of having players like Abonkota, Abomfukeng, Abotito Maswangai, Abombata. So they told themselves to say, look, we're gonna fight as a team and we're gonna die as a team, and they did very well. Look, the coach made a very same mistake that he did with Champions League, where he made some changes when the score was 2-2 in the Champions League semi-final. The score was 2-2, then he made changes. And he took out, again, the player that was giving a headache to the opponents, Nkota. And he did the very same thing against Chiefs. Nkota, I think he was playing better than Tito and Mfukeng. And he opted to take him out. And for me, you need to look at a player influence in the game. And Nkota was doing very well. I mean, if you go back to the previous game, the last week game when they beat Kaizer Chiefs, Nkota was the one who was doing things, trying to make things happen. And again, in this game, he was the one who was trying to make things happen. And when you look at Tito and King Emma 2000, they didn't come to the party for me. And I don't know why, sometimes when you see players that, especially Mfukeng, you can swap them with Nkota to say, let them swap the positions and see what is that they can do. And then talk to Ulontuzana, Umakitleni and Umbata in that midfield to say, look, we don't see Utito. And the only way Utito is going to be in the game is when you guys are going to pass him the ball. Because he's the brain, he's the thinker of the team. So if he doesn't get the ball as a thinker of the team, then it means we're not going to get anything as a team. And yes, that's what happened. And look, Ngwanasesi, scored a beautiful goal with the header. And I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed with how they scored a goal with a set piece and how the defense organization of Kaizer Chiefs, and again the goalkeeper, he was in the no man's land in that header, Ngwanasesi. And I'll give him a benefit of a doubt, Peterson, to say, look, I understand, boy, that you didn't play for a long time and you just came in the final, and there was nothing much actually. I would say it was dangerous for you. It's only for me, it's only that ball that I think you made a mistake, because that ball, it was going to the far post. There was no need for you to go out. And if you decide to go out, it means you need to go all the way to the ball. You cannot go half. I think that's the mistake that he did. And Orlando Pirates, I think the coach made a big mistake by taking out Nkota, because I think Nkota did very well. He was not supposed to take him out. And then the issue of Mabasa, I don't know what to say. I've been talking about the issue of Mabasa, and I don't care who says what. That boy can score. That boy can score. Give him the service, he will show you what it is that he can do. And then look at the header that he made in that game. He nearly scored. And it tells you about him. But I think it's up to, obviously, to the coach. If the coach doesn't believe in you, obviously, you'll always come late in the game. But nevertheless, I think the coach makes some blunders in terms of the players that he put in the game. To be honest, to be really honest, Chiefs, they did fight in that game. And a derby, remember that the derby, it's always tense. There's pressure from both teams, pressure, players, coaches, supporters themselves also, they feel the heat. And what happened is that have a chance to use it in the derby because that game, it's a big game, it's a tense game. I mean, look at the goal ka Mati, where I always criticize to say, where are the attacking midfielders when the team is attacking? Who's coming late or either outside the box or inside the box coming late, so that if there's any chances, loose balls there, then you can finish up. And Umat did very well to come in. That's one thing that I always say to midfielders, can you go inside the box? Try and go inside the box. You will never know what's going to happen. We cannot rely on one striker when we're going to put a cross and then there's one person. Remember that striker has got two defenders that he needs to beat for him to score a goal. So if you come and add a number as a midfielder, the advantage is that you're facing the goal post. And the disadvantage of the opponent is that he'll be facing his own goal post and wants to defend. So that means you'll always have an advantage as an attacking midfielder to attack the box. And that's what happened. And for Chiefs, Nabi made a good change. Let me put it this way. He put good players, right players, but I think he substituted wrong players. For me, Modi was nowhere in the game. Lilope was nowhere in the game. Sereno, I think, was giving something to the team. I don't know why he took him out. And also, I don't know, maybe Cele was injured, or maybe it's because of the yellow card. That's why the coach decided to take him out. But Du and Dipruya, they did very well. They came in, the game started to change. It's swing for Kaizer Chiefs. Now, that's when we started to see Kaizer Chiefs. Now they're becoming a threat in that final 30 for all of the Pirates. Modi got a chance there. He was in the hurry. And, it looks good when those two, they came in. But what I will say is that I think, based on my view, I think Chiefs, they deserve to win the Nedbank Cup. What about the economy? When Chiefs win, the economy is good, man. You can go anywhere in the country now. The economy is buzzing now. Everyone is happy, everyone. You can even check the diesel price. Even you can check now, the dollar went down now because of how Kaizer Chiefs. So it's so important for Kaizer Chiefs to win. That's why I always push them that they need to work hard. Yeah, here's the big one. Personally, I was not going to retain Nabi. I'll state my points. One is, as a coach, I always say, as a coach, show us who you are with the type of football that you want your team to display. Then it will tell us what type of person are you. For me, Unabi had the preseason with the team. Even after the preseason, 1-2 games, he started as if he wants to build up from the back, coming to the midfield, to the final third. But, when you do something that you are not used to, at some point, you're going to be confused and not knowing where to go forward with what you want to do, because that's not you. That's not how you want your team to play. And what is disappointing me about Nabi is that I don't know what type of football does he really wants to play. I don't know. I'll be lying. I don't know. Going again to players that, for example, why Blom is not playing. The only switch that I think he did, and it worked for Kaizer Chiefs, is when he moves Duba from the width and putting him as a striker. That's a good switch that he did, and it worked for Kaizer Chiefs, because if you can remember against Mamelodi Sundowns, Duba was playing as a striker, and he made Sundowns defense to make mistakes. He got the ball, he attacked and scored a goal. So that, other than that, I don't also see him bring the best out of his Kaizer Chiefs players, because for me, there's no player of Kaizer Chiefs that this season has rise to the occasion to say maybe we can say maybe player of the season, midfielder of the season, defender of the season, or goalkeeper of the season. And for me, a team like Kaizer Chiefs, it's a must that come end of the season, at least you must have one player that needs to be nominated in those categories. But yeah, I don't know what they think at Chiefs, but for me, I was not going to retain Nabi. I would say, Nabi, thank you very much. You've saved us from having the 10 years without a trophy. So thank you very much. Yeah, I was so disappointed. Very, very disappointed the way they started the game, the way the game was continuing. I was so disappointed with Stelis and some players, Pasadini, Titus, Induli. I was so disappointed. Even this boy, I start to see him doing very well, but they call him General Kiba. I don't know what happened to Real Stellenbosch. I don't know what happened. But one thing that I will say again, Sundowns, they continue showing the class, showing who they are, with the type of football they're playing, the creativity. And one thing that I've seen in that game again was how that midfield was organized of Mamelodi Sundowns. It confused Stellenbosch, because remember that Sundowns, they always play with three midfielders. Two in front of Mokoena, and then have Ribeiro on the right, Matthews on the left, and then Renas as a striker. But what happened this time around is that they play with Mokoena and Adams, both of them in front of the defense, and have two again in front of them, of which was Ribeiro and Sales. And it confused the plan of Stellenbosch, because now Matthews was making good runs on the left wing, and then on the right side they allow Mutau to have that all space to use. It was going up and down, so it really confused Stellenbosch. But look, let's not take it away from Sundowns. Sundowns is a very good team. Sundowns, they've shown professionalism. They've shown quality, they've shown class. Their players, their mentality, you could see that they are ready, they are sharp. They're looking forward to the game. They're working hard. Everyone was working hard in that game. And yeah, well done to Amasandawana. Look at Ribeiro. The way he scored that indirect free kick. I was so disappointed, very, very disappointed in that. That one I will put it real. I was so disappointed. And I want coaches to really listen to me carefully now. That I'm not fighting with them, but I just want to show them something. I believe that as a coach, that there's certain things that you need to do a training, especially you plan that if things like this they do happen. What do you do? A set piece like that, indirect free kick, how to position yourself. Masuluge was there. That foul, I would say, that foul was in the 6-yard area. In that 6-yard area, I expected Tuguti Masuluge was supposed to really put pressure or get that ball in the deflection and go out, because he was nearer to the action. But I was so disappointed. And also, again, all the players that were standing in the line, why they didn't move forward, especially when the referee blew the whistle. Just, move forward to try and enclose the space a bit, so that if Ribeiro obviously Ribeiro wanted to put it up. So you come closer so that you minimize the angle for him, so that if he wants to put it up, then one of you guys will touch it, and then it's a corner kick. But yeah, it happened, and The goal of Renas, wow, Ribeiro. You know, I always say when Ribeiro is using the pockets, that's where you'll see the danger of Mamelodi Sundowns. And that's what Ribeiro did. He came to the pockets after Renas won the ball. And the run of Renas, fantastic run and good finish. Well done, Gabrielo. Look, I see both teams, they will win. Pirates will win. Obviously, is Mamelodi Sundowns, they just need a point. Of which they'll get that 3 point against cheaper. They've shown the class. I mean, if they beat 3-0 Stellenbosch, a team that is good in defense and in the midfield and also in attack, they managed to beat them 3. So that means they will go all the way to cheaper and get that 3 points. And going to ezinyama ngenkaza kephulumuzi kamasipala zawenzo wawo. Yeah, no, kunjalo madoda. Ezinyama ngenkani, they'll get also 3 points. Just to, put a bit of pressure, because you'll never know. Maybe Sundowns, they can lose. It's football. Things they do happen. If Sundowns, they lose, then Pirates, they're putting pressure on them. So Pirates, they just need to focus on their game and then win.